Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in today to episode 13. Today we'll be discussing how to create a multi-line text file using Java code. What we'll be doing, we'll be taking a username and the age associated with that username and saving it to a text file. Some of the Java items we'll be discussing are files, path, OutputStream, BufferedWriter, importing java.nio.file.StandardOpenOption, and IOExceptions. We have the list of what we'll be covering today. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and launch our Eclipse. As you can see, I have pre-written the code, but what I will be doing is going through line by line, deleting everything, and then I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. But just to give you a quick overview of what we're going to be doing, we're going to have an array that contains names and 3 ages. So the size of our array should be 2. And again, if you haven't seen in prior lessons, we did speak about arrays, how you start with an index of 0 and then goes 1, 2. So this will be index of 0, 1, index of 1, and then index of 2. So even though we have 3 names here, the size is it starts from 0, 1, 2. And then what we do after that, we declare 3 objects. Then after that, we go ahead and create another method to do the main work for us. We create a file, we save the information to the file, and once when we're done saving everything to the file, our output should look just like this. We have the name, Johnny, age, name, Amy, age, and so on. Okay, so let me go ahead and actually I'm going to go ahead and delete this file since I'm be creating it again. Perfect. So now that file has been deleted. So what I'll go ahead and do is delete all my code. Leave the main class, I'm going to leave that. And you know what? Before I do that, let me just do it the way I used to do it. Alright, all my import statements, I'm going to delete all those. Delete my array, my 3 objects that I created. And if you notice here, when I'm creating these, like right here, when I'm creating this counter, I use static. That's just because I do not want to create an object for this class, so I just keep the static. I'm going to leave this method, I'm going to leave this here, but I will delete the file path. My try statement, I'm going to come back and delete that. Let me just delete everything inside of it, then I'll come back and delete it. And then upcoming lesson, we will discuss about try statements, how that helps us handle errors. Let's delete our for loop. And let's delete this right here. Shift and delete that. So we have most of the things that we need to delete, we have them deleted. This should be it for this one, I believe is for our class, but I'll go back and double check. I need a close bracket, a curly bracket for this method. Let me scroll back up. Yep. So we have the one for our class. This one here for this method, and everything should be okay. Perfect. We have no errors. Everything looks great. So let's go ahead and begin. What do we need to do? Information that needs to be written. So here, what we want to do is insert the information that we want to write to the text file. So let's go ahead and here, let's create our array. We have private, static, again, making all these static, string, capitalized string, create my array. Oops. Name this my data. equals, and let's go ahead and create our multi-dimensional array. We're going to have John, April, and here. And we did have a lesson on arrays, so definitely if that's something you want to refresh on, go back in the history and you will definitely see the lesson on arrays. Let's continue. April, and we will make this one May. Go with names of the month. Okay. Close this one here. Comma. Sorry. Next row. 20. Again, this is a string array, so that's why I have these integers as strings. 35. And we'll have this one as 40. This one, and close entire array. Semicolon, so we're good here. We need to create three objects: path, OutputStream, and BufferedWriter. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, static keyword, path, path, semicolon, static again. And then we're gonna get rid of all these error messages that we're seeing. Let me just finish this up. Stream output. Oops, not pip, put output static buffered writer as a okay. So let's go back and let's take care of all these error messages that we're receiving. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to import java.nio file. So I'm hit the import right here. And if we see up here, it imports it. Next thing is the output stream. So let me go here, import this as well. Did it import it above it? I don't like when it does it. I'll prefer it to import it below, but what it does is it imports the latest one as the first one. So BufferedWriter, if we go here and import this, see, it imports it up here. So you gotta have to scroll up to make sure it's there. Great. Now the last thing we need to do, let me put a little space here so it's easy to read, is create our counter for our loop that we're going to create. Since we're going to try to iterate through an array, we have to create a counter. You can do it later, but I just rather do it now and get it out the way. Counter equals 0. Great. Oops, I have count. Let me change to counter. Okay, our main method, we left it alone. We created this method, so our main method is going to call this method. Okay, let's go here. First thing we need to do is initialize the path object. So to do that, we're going to take our object file, path, and we're going to equal path with an s dot get. System's a little slow. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and wherever you're just going to save the file, just put it in here. I'm putting the absolute path file. And I put my semicolon here. And then next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and do our try statement. And the reason why we need a try statement is if just in case something happens, we need to let the compiler know how to handle that. So try. Where we're going to end our try statement. We'll focus on that later. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, take that out. So, what do we want to try? Let's do output equals new buffered. Control spacebar to cheat a little bit so I don't have to write the whole thing, but some issues today. Okay, buffered, so I need buffered output stream. I'm just going to look through all these. You can pick whichever one. I'm just going to pick the first one. Okay, so this buffered output stream, if we highlight this, we see what kind of argument we need to pass. We need to pass an output stream. So in order to do that, we need to do files.new output stream, and we need a path location, which is file path. And what are we doing? Are we modifying one? What are we doing with this file? We're creating, so we're going to do create. If you notice here, we're going to have a little error message, and this is because we need another import statement. In this import statement, you're going to have to insert it on your own because it's not going to prompt you to do so, like the other three import statements that we did. The import static java.nio.standardOpenOption asterisk. So everything in here I want. Okay, let's see what I messed up on. Right, here's the error. Okay, that fixes everything here. Create is good. Something's not right in here. I'm expecting this to light up in blue, but it seems like everything's okay and it's not in a bold blue. Continue with that. But one thing I wanted to show you, if you look at here, see what it returns this when we call this method a new output stream. If we go here, what do we want to pass? Output stream. You see, by creating this files, new output stream files path, we're able to basically return an output stream. Okay, so we'll go to the next one, initialize the buffered reader. So we have writer equals new buffered writer. In the last episode, I believe we used buffer reader instead of writer, and that's basically what it says is the difference. One is to write, one is to read. So what we want to do is new. Before we do that, let me just show you why we're going to do that. If we go here and highlight this, let me put it here for now. You know what? No. Put it here. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to close out this try statement. Try and line them up as best as I can. Okay. So let me come back here. They're not going to. Let me just start writing it and you will see. New. Output. No. Keep messing up. My mistake. Okay, output stream writer. So let's bring that in. And what we want to pass is the output from the output stream. Semicolon. Okay, if we look here, what kind of argument does the buffered writer takes is a writer. So when we do new output stream writer, this one we see here it's going to return basically the writer. Let me see. Okay, so next let's go ahead and start our loop. So we can loop through, and what we're going to do is we're going to loop through and put all of the information from the array into a text file. So we have to loop through this array. Let's go ahead and start with our loop. We're going to use a for loop. So for I'm just thinking here. If I use a for loop, will I need a count? Yeah, I'll still need a counter because I need a counter for my array. So let me keep going. And a equals 0. So we're gonna go ahead and initialize that right here. Semicolon a is greater than my data dot length. And this is getting the length of the array. And we're going to iterate through this. Let's go ahead and put our semicolon here. So now we're going to write to the text. So we're going to do writer dot write. And what do we want to write? Remember, we want to say name colon plus my data. And the reason why I'm getting this error message is that I didn't use my quotation marks, which I'm going to go back and do. Counter, which is 0, a, oops, I don't like how it did this. Why did it do this to me? Right here. Let's go ahead and use our semicolons to clean this up. I'm going to put a space here. So you see this little space I left here? We'll see the same thing in my text file once I'm done creating it. So my name, the data, which is this, gets the index of 0, and a right here is 0. So we're going to start back to my array in this position. So think of this array as like this. Like this. So here's row 1, row 2. So if we're referring to it, we'll say row 0, row 1. Think of the array like that. So if we go to row 0 and position 0, we're going to pull out John. And once we pull out John, we want to have John's age. So let's go ahead and say that. Concatenate age, colon mark, space, quotation mark, and now we want John's age. So my data. So what we're going to do, we're going to do counter plus 1 since we want the age. So we're going to go down to row 2, which is when we're referring in the index is row 1. And then a, which if we look here, what is a? A is 0. Okay, this was from the last mistake. Okay, perfect. Everything looks good to me. So what this statement is going to do, I'll have to come down later. But what this statement is going to do is going to go here, and then it's going to go down to the next row and select John's age. And that's how you do the iteration through the multi-dimensional arrays. So once when we do that, we want to have a new line. New line, because we don't want everything on the same line. Once when it's done writing the first name and the first age, we want it to skip down to a new line. Continue to go through that. And our for loop is good. So all we need to do now is close the file. So writer.close. Perfect. And we want a confirmation message to let the user know that, hey, everything went okay. All in a try statement, perfect. J option pane. We're going to have to import Java Swing. Do the import already? Yep, right here. Java pane. And what did I do to import it? Just control spacebar and it imports it right away for you. You don't even have to click on anything to import. Like we did before. Show message dialog. Null. And then we want file. And then we're going to get the file path. So what we're saying is this, hey, this file has been created. We want to get name, get file name, which is right here. And again, control spacebar to pull that option up. Concatenate again. Yep, perfect. And this is going to be the title of our pop-up menu or pop-up screen, however you want to call it. Text file created. Thinking here, how do I want to state this? Text file created, confirmation. Nation. Then here, J option. Pane dot information message. Alright, semicolon, and we should be good. I have one already. Yep, perfect. So now what we want to do, go back over here, and let's say if we do run into an error, what do we want to display? Catch. And then what I did is control spacebar to create the catch statement by itself. And I'm just going to have something print out to the system. That's why it's out. Control spacebar. And error occurred. Semicolon. Concatenate with. I'm just going to have E right here. And that's it. Control save. Okay, let me pull up the file location. Okay, right here we don't have the file called class age. We have class age 2, but we don't have class age. So let's go ahead and run this. And then we get confirmation. File class underscore age dot text txt has been created. Perfect. Okay. Now let's go validate that. Go to our option, class age. Click that. Name John, age 20. Name April, age 35. Don't like how this is spacing out, and we only created 2. So we have some debugging to do. For some reason we did not want to turn up the last one. So let's come down here, space right here. Let's see in our for loop what mistake has been. Okay, right here. Save. So what I did, I added a less than or equal to sign. Let me go back here. No, let me just change the name. Let's do version 3. So underscore version 3. Save. Let's run that one this time, see how that looks. Get our confirmation number. File class age underscore version 3 has been created. There it is. Perfect. John, age 20. Name, April, age 35. Name, May, age 40. Exactly what we want to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson today. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week next episode when we go ahead and discuss other things we could do with the file. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.